So I went diving yesterday morning and thinking that it was going to be absolutely gorgeous like it was last Sunday when I went diving with Dan and Caesar and Cabrillo Beach breakwall. And so it looked beautiful. The water was supposed to be calm. There was only supposed to be like 0 to 1 foot waves. And just thinking, you know what, it's going to be sunny, it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to go and find those calico bass that we saw along the breakwall. That I shot one of them, lost it in the weeds, so I'm going to go shoot another one. It's going to be just absolutely amazing. You know, just like when you go golfing and you line up a shot and you're like, oh, this is going to sail forever, and you dink it. Or you go out and you're like, oh, I'm gonna surf amazingly, and you fall all the time or don't catch very many waves because you're just off. Well, I get to Cabrillo Beach and the water's rough and the water's cloudy because overnight the wind had been blowing so hard that it stirred up all the sand and everything, so the water was murky, and I couldn't actually go hunt the breakwall because there were 1 to 4 foot swells coming in and just smashing it. So I had to change up my idea, went right next to the breakwall because right next to it is a little rock jetty that didn't have much swell going on it. It was actually faced pretty well into the swell, so you could actually swim out onto it, except it was still murky. Couldn't do anything about that. So I went out. I actually could see about 3 feet. So right when I got out, I was looking for some halibut because I was crossing fingers the day before grunion runs. Hey, maybe the halibut will be lining up close to shore and I can shoot one. Well, you can only see about 3 feet, and quickly it got too murky and I had to just head out. Plus the waves were hammering the shore pretty well, so I had to get out beyond the waves. Going along the rock wall, barely able to see anything. I'm like, okay, let's hope at some point I can see something. This might just be an exercise in actually exercising my legs. I get out to the end, and out where the seaweed is, there's a little bit more visibility, but still pretty rough. And I'm only out for about half an hour. And because it's just, there's no visibility. It's like being in a whiteout when you go skiing or snowboarding. You just could not see anything. So when I get out to the kelp bed, I could actually, you could see a little bit more, maybe 4 feet, and to the end of my spear, my Pathos 100, and outreached, I could only see halfway. And so at one point I actually do come across 2 large, fairly large calico, probably about 16 to 18 inches. And they go down into the murk immediately. But up from the murk comes a sargo. And out of 2 shots I took today, I nailed 2. I stoned both fish. First being a sargo. The sargo, I nailed him. He went down into the weeds. And as I was pulling him up, apparently a piece of seaweed was wrapped around him, tore him from my spear, and because it's so murky, he's gone. He was dead, but the seaweed tore him off and there was no way I could see him. The second fish that I came up on was a calico. I was very excited. There's a calico. He's sitting under a bunch of seaweed. Looks to be about 15 to 16 inches. And he looked thick under that seaweed, and I nail him. Blind up, shot him, perfect. Bring him towards me, and it's the skinniest damn calico bass I've ever seen or caught. I've caught many calico on line and reel. This thing looked like a mackerel. It was so tubular looking. And so brought him in, my first calico, finally got him in. Went back in because after 30 minutes, amazingly, I don't know what's going on with my head right now, but got seasick very quickly, or was starting to feel seasick. Shot back into the shore, and now though, I'm gonna cook up something absolutely amazing. So if you're unfamiliar with Kimmy Werner, I would highly suggest checking her out. She is a Spiro in Hawaii, and a mother and chef, and she just makes these amazing Hawaiian meals out of her kitchen cooks. And one of the great things I love about it is she doesn't do measurements, first of all, which is very familiar to me. I don't like to do a ton of measurements. I like to just make the food happen. And so in this particular case, she makes an amazing veggie coconut curry with some halibut she's caught. I really encourage you to go check out her channel. It's absolutely amazing. It's great to watch. And here I go. I'm gonna go try to make my own coconut curry with calico bass. All right, today we're gonna make some Thai coconut veggie curry. And we've got everything here. Plus, we're gonna top it off with the calico bass that I shot. Okay, so for this first part, we're just gonna chop everything up here. And we're gonna start cooking with the heavier things like the cauliflower, the onions, the bell pepper. All right, so here are my fillets and my collars from the Calico. As you can see, they're fairly small just because it was a very skinny 14-inch Calico. But I have my collars and adding a little salt, a little pepper, and then coating it with turmeric. And I'm gonna do both sides of these, get them on the grill for cooking. Here I'm adding some cilantro stems, some cilantro, and some mint that I just freshly grabbed out of our garden, and gonna do that on both sides and really just cook it into the fish as it goes on the grill. All right, so we're gonna get these fillets on here, get them cooking up. Get the fish collars on as well. Here we go. This coconut veggie curry was absolutely fantastic with the calico sea bass on top. It added a lot of saltiness to it and was absolutely fantastic. Thank you to my son Parker for cooking the food today. Cheers to all of you for checking this out. Click or subscribe to check out more videos, and thank you so much for watching this today. Later.